how would you feel if you had a little baby and they just became up with leukemia and you wanted to save a child? Would you consider the chance of having a baby, save a baby?
If I wanted to save the child, for sake of saving the child, to have a second child to save the first one, you know, I wouldn't think that way. I just leave it in God's hands. He knows what He wants to do, and I would just leave it like that. I could not sacrifice a child one for another. Unless that child grew up and the other child was still alive and said, I want to do this for my sister, with no guilt, no, I couldn't do it.
You wouldn't force a child to do it. If she against anybody's will, she didn't want to do it. She would go crying to these appointments saying she didn't want to do it. You would pressure your child into it.
I wouldn't push my child into doing it. I would just have to have a lot of faith and a lot of prayer and just leave it in God's hands.
Okay, so if you were in debt, if you wanted to consider would you, if you didn't have to, because it requires now about $1 million to do the procedure, the marrow transplant, everything, would you consider about doing about $1 million to try to get it?
Then that would mean I wouldn't have a lot of faith. Right, I mean, I got to say to her now. You know, I would sell my home. I would do everything I could to save my child. And I would still leave it in God's hands. But yeah, I would probably wind up losing. I would go to the newspapers. I would start a campaign and donations. I would let them know that my child is suffering. I would do everything I could for my child. But after a certain point, you just can't do anymore. But I wouldn't just sit on it and say, you know, God, take your course. I would say, oh, please, help me.
You would go to the limit that you can go for your child.
Exactly, but I would not sacrifice another child.
Are you supportive of it, or are you completely against it?
I think the idea of what they're trying to do, it's kind of like using a baby, so to speak. Using a baby to save another one. You know? I mean, does the first one get to live, or?
If you put the child through the process, it's a 32% chance of survival.
How many?
32% chance.
32%? Oh, the first one surviving? No, because there's a reason why the second one didn't get to live. There's a reason for it.
No, but say that your first child is diagnosed with leukemia, God forbid, and then you decided to have a second baby to try to save the first baby's life.
I couldn't see doing something like that. No.
And that's involving giving the child bone marrow transplants, which involves sticking a needle about 6 inches deep into the bone.
There's no guarantee that would work. There's no guarantee.
Would you go out of your way to try saving the child? If it has to come to that, would you do it?
But not by having another baby, no. I mean, by other means, by hospitalization and whatnot. But I mean, not going to that, because there's a reason for everything happening.
Okay, so would you, if you did in fact go through with this procedure, would you, if the second child doesn't want to go through it, would you force it to?
No. You can't do that. That wouldn't be right.
So if the first child was only about 2 months old, and you find one day it has leukemia, and you just wanted the child again, just to save the child, you wouldn't even do that?
No, I wouldn't even do that. No.
So if the procedure cut, because normally the procedure is about $1 million just to put one procedure down.
Yeah.
And if you did consider it, would you do it?
Maybe, I guess, but I mean, by all rights, I mean, this is not something I would want to do.
I don't know.
Do you think it's right to have animals rather kept in a zoo than rather in their natural habitat?
I think it's always expected to have them in a natural habitat, although, you know, humanity as a whole is taking over the earth, so I don't think that's something possible if we don't plan on extinction. So I think there is some value to preservation of those animals.
Do you think that they change though because they're not in their natural habitat?
Absolutely.
Okay, and do you think like the way we treat animals is right? Like kept them in the cages and letting everybody go and see them? Do you think they feel like it's torture?
You probably do. I think that anybody would. I mean, I think animals have souls, and for that purpose, yes, I do believe you probably think that.
And do you think we're saving the animals though also by keeping them in there?
I do. I think it's a catch-22.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Having all the animals flying through the lots of things. Not just like kind of animals that's actually that you would see on TV out in the zoo, out in the wild. Sorry about that. Do you support them?
Support the cages. I think animals should be left in their natural environment. Like, they're not domestic, like, you know, these dogs.
But what if it was an endangered species? Would you encourage them to be kept in a cage environment where they're not properly malnutrition or not properly taken care of?
I'd want it to be in a place where, you know, mated with a female, maybe not be so endangered anymore after that.
Okay. So what if, do you encourage the entertainment that the zoo provides?
For learning purposes, yeah.
For learning purposes, but
Other than that,
no? Okay, so you would support if,
because animals are still kind of cooped up in these little cages.
yeah. So if we were able to expand the zoo, would you be able to, or would you just kind of close down?
Expand the cages, maybe, like the space which every animal has, but not the physical animals in it. There's, I think it's good. I can't think of the word. Variety of animals there already. Like animals that they need to be.
So then would you think that it's good just for educational purposes?
Yeah.
But then other than that, keeping them there to from
I mean, but then again, you would have national